anytime you have a play away from a backside 7-eye, he's got to cross the face. Like I told you, they got to do their stunts in their game. So the backside 7, he has to come down. The cornerback, now he has contained. Yeah. He has to come right there. So for me, that was 100% cutback. Give me mine, let me either drop step and go or open and stretch it and go, put it in my hand. And now I'm seeing the lanes develop because I'm pressing it. I might say, and test it. So now they got.
Hey, Fred, Saquon ain't worried about that shit.
You know, obviously, you can try to do like this. You kind of where they're going.
Hey, Fred.
Fred. Saquon ain't worried about that shit, man. That nigga knows how to run the ball.
No, we're not even talking. We're talking about nuggets. We ain't talking about running the ball.
You know how to run the ball, man.
No, we're not talking about running the ball at all.
Did you not see the video
What's
from
the
Penn
first
State?
thing I said?
They ain't do red kickoffs, like they have punts, everything.
No,
like,
we're not talking about
don't
running
need
the
this.
ball at all. He doesn't need no help running the ball at all.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me can't pinning it. I fought to hear to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On the vision, I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me can't pinning it. I fought to hear to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up.
I mean, shoot, man. We're here. We're in the indoor in New York, or I guess Jersey, for the pivot. And for us, Saquon, man, you know, we've been talking for months about trying to get this to happen. It's an honor more than anything because we understand your time constraints. Also, like, we get it. You're in the biggest media market in the world. You're one of the most talented humans to ever play your position, and it's been adversity, right? You've had to pivot, and so we're excited to do this. For everybody who's watching, subscribe, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Make sure you guys continue to support. We're so grateful. Before we start, I want to talk about the tragedy that happened in Texas, losing a coach due to a Little League football game. I think so many times in our culture, we focus on people being taken from us by others, by people that don't look like us. And, you know, you get so much flack, and it's like, what about black on black crime or whatever? First off, we're the only race that people say that about. Nobody says that about white on white crime, Asian on Asian. It's actually known. You kill people who are in your proximity. But I want people to know we do care about our communities. We care about what happens to the people in our community, whether we're taking our own lives or somebody else's. And we need to stop the devaluing of our lives in our own community. So to Coach Mike and to his family, my condolences, our prayers and our blessings from Pivot. You know, Saquon, when we look at where you are, you know, I was telling the guys before we started, I met you, man, you were in college, right? And at the time, you're the best player in the country. And you were telling me, he's like, yeah, RC, shoot, all I had was Rutgers. You know what I mean? Like Rutgers was the only school I had before, you know, my senior year and all those things. When you think about where you've come from, man, what has that journey been like for you?
The journey's been fun. You know, at the end of the day, I'm blessed. I wake up, I play in the National Football League. I play for the New York Football Giants. I'm living my dream. It's something that I wanted to do since I was 2, 3 years old. I've been telling my parents, and you know, I've accomplished a little bit so far in my career, but I still got so much to go.
You moved around a lot, or seems like your parents made decisions to make you successful. Kind of speak on that, like your journey of becoming Saquon Barkley, because I heard that you moved to get out of a rougher place to go to a nicer area because that can make you more successful.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about your opportunity. And my parents felt like that I'll have a better opportunity, not just for myself, for all my siblings. My parents felt like it would be a better opportunity for us as a family to get out of New York and come to Pennsylvania. And that decision is kind of really what changed my life. You know, the chances of you becoming, you know, high school football, well-known name, and going to a big college out of New York is not as high as in Pennsylvania. So they made a decision to move, not because of football, just for the family. They just thought it would be a way better place for us. And I try to take full advantage of that. And I know that I wouldn't be the man, the player, the person, the father I am today without my parents, and I'm really thankful for them.
we get bogged down, right, Saquon, in what we do for a living, because that's what people focus on. And you hit on something, and I wanted to get to it later, but you hit on something early, so I want to continue with that. Speak on being a father, though, right? Because we look at so much that everybody in the world is like, you got to be great on the field. You have to be this type of player. You have to be this type of leader. But in the end, it's about what type of man you are. And I've met your father. I met him at the opening here in Jersey, years back. And I see the type of relationship that you guys have. Talk a little bit about who you are as a father to your baby.
Being a parent is everything, man. Especially, you get caught up in wins and losses and how you're doing in your career. For me, it was like when I tore my knee and I came home and, I got done with surgery and, tears in my eyes. I'm just like reflecting on like, why me? Like, why this happened to me? And my daughter comes up to me and gives me a kiss and put a Band-Aid on my brace. Like those moments, that's when it was like I start really understanding that like, there's so much more to the game. Like, there's so much more. It's bigger than that. And being a father, honestly, I have another one away, so I'm gonna be a father of two. I don't know the gender yet. I'm not really want to say that's my decision, but you really can't argue with the lady that's carrying a baby. But so I got another one away, and it's everything. Being a dad is everything, and that's why I go so hard. I'm a big believer in that. Like, I want my kids to look back and be like, my dad decided to do something, went hard at it, went 100%, gave it his all, and at the end of the day, he was satisfied because he had the right mindset and the right work ethic, and that's something that I want to instill, not only in my kids but my nieces and nephews, and any kid that comes up to me and asks me questions when they're like, oh, how do you become Saquon Barkley, or oh, how's this, how that, and that's my message to them. That's just what I want to instill into my kids: is work hard. Anything you want in this world is possible as long as you have the right mindset and the right work ethic, and that's kind of what was instilled in me from my parents, and what I'm trying to do as a father, and as I continue to grow and learn into that fatherhood.
We met your driver, Danny.
Oh, Lord.
And
I don't know how you get to work every day, bro.
he is so whatever you want to call it, right? Does he drive like that when your daughter's in the car?
No, he does not. He does not. He does not. Danny, he's a guy, if you need to get to any place and make sure you get on time, he's gonna get you there. But he knows when he's driving the players or he's driving any family members, he knows when and where to be Danny and when not to be Danny Hasselhard. So he's a great dude. Not only just a driver, a great friend of mine too. So someone I can lean on and through the ups and downs.
I have a daughter. And I went through, like, the beginning of my career was much how yours is started, right? And I remember those days too. She didn't put a Band-Aid on my brace or my cast, but she came in, it just gives you a whole different outlook and perspective on things. You said that you question yourself. You question why me? And I know my grandmother used to always tell me, don't question God. Don't, when did the why me stop? Like, I'm sure at some point it had to stop.
When did it stop? I guess it stopped right when I started getting back into the rehab mindset, and then it happened again because, I got hurt last year on like some fluke play. I ran like a slant, and, I just took my eyes off the play, and I happened to step on someone's foot. Mm-hmm. And like that was another moment where I was just like, yo, like, what is going on? Like, frustration, and like obviously like in that moment, you just want to break out, scream, cry. You're trying to hold your composure because cameras all in your face, like they're checking my ankle out. I got cameras all here and that, and like in that moment, like you're just frustrated. But like the why me stopped again, I guess you can say, once you start rehabbing again and once you start going, like you can't have that mindset. I do think it's beneficial to think on that, to have that come in, because you got to deal with the negatives, you got to deal with the negatives before the positives come. So you have to have that, but at the same time, you got to push that away because adversity is going to come, and there's going to be more adversity that is going to happen in my life. I'm only 25 years old, so, I don't even know what God has planned for me.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot more ups and there's going to be some more downs, but like the why me stop when I get back into that mindset of grinding and getting back into playing the sport that I love. And, for me this year, the different mindset is, last year was the game was taken away from me, so I'm coming back I'm just thankful that I'm able to play the sport. Now this year, it's like the game was taken from me, then I got hurt again. Now it's just like, you know what, like I'm just gonna work my butt off, and the rest gonna take care of itself. So I'm coming with a killer mindset, and I just wanna go crazy.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's just, keep grinding. Nothing else, keep grinding. Block out the noise. Football is the most, luckiest, unluckiest sport. They value us on, what we're doing, obviously, now, and also potential. One of the greatest people to ever play our position is Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
And the legend of Bo is still exists simply because the potential of what he could have done, the potential of his talent, and also, having amazing Nike deals back in the day. But I'm looking at Bo played 4 years, you completed 4 going on year 5. And, I know I'll probably get some pushback when I say this, because Bo also played baseball, but nobody ever called him soft. They said he had a career-ending injury, and unfortunately, he was unlucky when that happened. But for the first 4 years of your career, statistically, your numbers are much greater. But there's a narrative out there. Simply because you had an injury, you come back, then you got nicked again, you come back. That's just being unlucky. I would rather be unlucky in that than to have my career be completely done at this moment, because you got a lot left in front of you. So I would simply say, continue to ignore the noise until somebody's in your shoes and in your driver's chair. They're not gonna take you to where you wanna go.
Yeah.
They can't take you there. So you're in a tough environment up here, right? And we were talking over there, and I said, people that say, whether you're dancing or you're pitter-pattering your feet, all of that's irrelevant, because you're the CEO when you're back there. You're totally in charge, and I'm sure the Giants believe in you, and really it's just flipping that switch to say, I'm the same dude I was when I got Rookie of the Year. So you have to make sure that mindset comes back.
That's what's crazy to me though. Like, I think there's a lot of great backs in the league, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I'm a big fan of it. Like, I believe, like, watching other guys, watching the film, but I just think it's so crazy how, like, everyone flipped the script so quick. Like, the first 2 years of my career, like, me personally, everyone has their opinion. I felt like I was the best running back in the NFL. Like, everyone has their opinion, and I think there's some great backs. And then I hurt my knee, and then I got hurt again. And now it's like, well, how we talk about the dancing, or how we talk about this, and now in the third. But it's like, I was doing something right before. Like, if, I think not only myself would say that, I think it was an actual argument. Like, who you can make a legit argument who the top 3 backs were my first year, and I feel like I was inside that conversation. For me, that's why it's crazy. It's like, whoa, like everyone, how the tables just turned so crazy. Like, it's like I got hurt off of like a knee injury, like just random. Like I was making a routine play, it was a power play. I broke 2 tackles, safety was coming up. It was Eddie Jackson, and I was trying to throw him by, and I've done that play since I was 8 years old, and I just happened to tear my knee. And then last year, I kind of was on a pitch count the first couple games, so it's hard to get your groove, especially coming back from knee injury. And then we played the Saints. We went in overtime. I made a couple big plays.
Crazy.
Yeah, I had a couple big plays. I looked like myself. And then, like, the next week, I had an amazing practice. I was like, I'm finna go crazy. And then I hurt my ankle on, like, a fluke play. And then it's like everyone just, like, got all these negative things to say. And, like, you're human at the end of the day. Like, I try my best not to really even focus or worry about that. But, like, I'm active on social media. Like I post stuff on social media. I go on social media. Like, sometimes you go on, like, I'll be scrolling. I see stuff about myself. I'm like, oh, like, what the hell? Like, so to me, it's just, like, that's where, like, it taught me so much, where it's, like, going back to being a father, being a kid, like, having a kid. It's like, man, like, what everybody's saying on the outside, like, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Like, I come home to a wonderful family. I have amazing friends. No matter what, Jada's walking around that house with a smile on her face. And, like, I know how special a player I am, and I know how special of career I'm going to have. And, like, I'm just happy that, like, my mom always told me as a kid, like, people gonna say positive and negative things about you no matter what. But I'm happy that, like, it showed. It was just like, all right, like, people really love to kick you while you're down. And, like, for me, that's why coming back, like, it's just like, I'm gonna do whatever I can do. And, like, hey, if I get injured again this year, like, I'm gonna put that energy out there. But that's football, that's life. Like, if it's something that happens again, then shit, let it be. That's what happened. But, like, my mindset is, like, just, when I do come back and like I do show the world like how special I am again, like everybody that flipped the script so crazy, like just stay on that side.
They won't though.
You keeping receipts.
It's not even like keeping like it is and it ain't, but like it's so crazy like how you can go from everyone saying all these positive things about you and then like just like legit two plays just change everything. And like everyone's like saying, it's like, oh, like you would think I never like learned how to play running back before. Like the other day, like going to where he was talking about people saying I'm dancing, like I kind of came out and said like I'm fed up with that. People try to sway it and say like, oh, because my coach came out and was like, oh, like I'm happy how Saquon's getting north and south. And like people were like, oh, well, your coach the one who said that. But like, no, I'm not. I wasn't saying I'm fed up with him saying that, because the question after him saying he's happy I'm getting north and south, like they're like, oh, is that something that you have to focus on? Like, is that something that like you've been training on, working on, like getting north and south? And like, it's like kind of like a spit in my face. Like I haven't been playing this position for a long time. And like by any means, like I'm nowhere where I need to be. Like I'm trying to catch the greats. Like I have all the respect for all the greats. I have respect for him. Like as a kid, like I looked up all their stats, know all the stats. Like that's the stuff that I'm competing for. And like I'm not even close to that. But it's like damn, like before I got hurt, it was like, oh, Saquon this, Saquon that. Now I got hurt. It's like, I don't even know how to play running back. Like my style is irrelevant. It's like
Your style is amazing.
It's funny because we all watch you at Penn State whooping ass, and then you come straight in the league and start whooping ass. But now you have some turmoil with injuries. Was that bigger than the transition on the field, the transition off the field? Like, is that something that you're still working on?
Yeah.
Is that bigger? Was that bigger than going from college to the NFL, playing on Saturday and playing on Sunday? But the mental transition, the media transition, was
in
that
New York as well.
In New York,
I would say 100%. Like to me personally, like in like no arrogant way, like transition from football to like from college football to NFL wasn't hard. Like, I really didn't see no difference. I mean, like at the end of the day, like if you run a 4.3, you run a 4.3. You know what I mean? Like only thing that's difference is like my rookie year, you're going against a guy like Luke Kuechly, and like I'm back there lined up, and like I can see like he knows what I'm running. Like just off of watching so much film. Like you don't got guys like that in college. So for me, the transition wasn't that hard. It was just like understanding the game and how much time and effort you put into watching film to give yourself the better opportunity. But like it wasn't even a transition of the media. Like the biggest battle for me was like I really never had like no challenges with football. You know what I mean? Like and like I understand like I was very blessed, like, and I worked hard. But like my only challenge was like I almost quit football as a kid, and like my dad was like, you quit one thing in life, you're gonna be a quitter for the rest of your life. So I never really had no injuries. Like I hurt an ankle in college before, but I never had like the game taken away from me. So like that was hard for me. Like I always was like, when I stepped on the field, like I felt like I was the best player on the field. And like when you're coming back from a knee injury, and like especially like mine, like if I did my knee, what happened to my knee if I did that 10, 20 years ago, like I'd probably be done. I'd probably never play again. So like when I was on the field last year, like getting back into it, like in training, like I wasn't able to like run and do stuff until like 6 months. And like I remember when they told me like my timeline, I was like, so you tell me I'm gonna have like 2 months to get ready for an NFL season? And like they were like, they shook their head like, yes, that's what it's gonna be. So I was just like, dang, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, how the hell am I gonna pull this off? So like that was like the biggest, like that was like the hardest thing for me. It was like when I speak on losing your confidence, like I'm still a very confident player, but like at the time, like even with my rookie year, like when I stepped on the field, like I really felt like nobody was better than me. Like, and then when you come from an injury, like you on the field and you're just like, damn, like, okay, like, all right, this knee's not what it was right now. Like I'm still building on it. Like I gotta trust the rest of my body. But now, like, I know all the hard work that I put in doing rehab, and it showed last year because my ankle, but I'm so blessed that and so thankful that I had a lot of great people that I work with. Because now, like when I'm in practice or I'm out in camp, like I'm feeling to get back into that confidence where like I can go out there. So that's why like when I say like I have the mindset, I just want to go kill everything, because I know like where my confidence is at right now.
You know what's so crazy is when people look at football players, it's like this barbaric sport, right? And it's almost, they think of us as kind of Neanderthals who run our faces into other people. Listening to you speak and obviously knowing you a little bit, I understand how intelligent you are. Sometimes intelligence can be a hindrance in this sense. We overthink, right? Like the same way you're saying, oh, I only got 2 months to get ready for a season. Yeah. That plays in the back of your mind. Like I used to work as hard as I did and study the way that I did and do treatment the way that I did because I had to like mind F myself, right? On Sunday, I was like, man, I did everything right. I watched enough film, I did all the treatment, I practiced hard, I was at work every day for these times. So now, in coming off of the knee injury, coming off of the ankle injury, how are you combating overthinking so we could see the same Saquon that had 2,000 plus all-purpose yards as a rookie?
Just let go and relax and just go play. Work on breathing techniques, working on, it's a lot of people really focus on like, the physical aspect of football, like you said, but like I've got into more of the mental space, more of like becoming closer to God, more of like if I'm in my sauna and I'm downstairs stretching, take like 5-10 minutes and just work on breathing, emptying the mind, trying to like practice of getting into flow state. Flow state's like, for example, when Steph hit 14 threes and like it just looked like he's not even thinking, he's just out there like, and he's not gonna miss, like he get into that zone, like trying to work on that stuff. And it's hard to do that in football. Obviously football is that's why I love football so much. It's a team sport, it's 11 men, all like you could have 10 people doing the right thing on one play, if one person's off, especially in the run game, it could be a negative run. You know what I mean? So like for me, it just been just letting go. And like another way like where you don't have to overthink it, it's like going out there and actually doing it, like practicing it. You know what I mean? Like having those reps. I believe practice makes perfect. Obviously you're never gonna be the perfect player, but the only way you can come close to a perfect game or a perfect season is by practicing it. And that's not just only in the weight room, that's out there on the football field. So like being able to have that back eases the mind. So I am a big overthinker. I'm not gonna lie, like that's something that like if I had to come to my, like say something negative about myself, like if I try to ask a lot of questions, I try to know that I know that I know.
Right.
So like it's like little things like don't tell me a lineup at 7 and like I know 7.5. Like, I'm gonna have a conversation with like, well, what about at 7.5? Like I might feel like I can hit this a little bit better. And like it might not matter at all, but like to me, like I feel like those are stuff that like what helps me be great and like I want to be great. So it helped me get to where I'm at right now. So I'm never gonna change that. But to stop the overthinking is just more of like also, working on the mental side and just relaxing and breathing.
It's crazy to me. I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know if it's an Aquarius thing or I'm trying to figure it out, right?
You Aquarius?
Yeah.
Yeah. February?
Yeah, January 27th. You're the 9th, right?
Yeah, February.
Yeah, man, listen, man. This is so crazy. I'm like traveled back in time. I tore my groin off the bone my 3rd year in. You tore your ACL your 3rd year. And you're going through the same challenges with the media. I think the one difference is they gave me a nickname. They called me Fragile Fred. That still sticks to this day. But
That's funny.
yeah, that is funny. It's funny. It's funny, but guess who got the last laugh? Because the average career is 3 years. I played 13. So everybody that laughs at it, not really but at the back of my mind, it's like I kept my receipts, but I went and I did my thing. But what helped me is, outside of family, which was my amazing support team, outside of family, the support system that you have, that you hold. And, Jacksonville got me a mental conditioning coach. I was definitely opposed to it. I was like, oh, hell nah. Like, he worked for y'all. I'm not sharing secrets or opening up with him. But it was Trevor Moawad, who recently passed away. He's worked with Russell Wilson, a lot of great guys. Chad Bowling, he's worked with A-Rod. He works with a lot of the Cowboys now, was his partner who also worked with me back in Jacksonville. And I think that will also help you not become, such an overthinker. Because really it's just taking all negatives and realizing that negative is always gonna be positive. At least if you're an algebra person, Channing. And man, you got so much left in front of you.
Yeah.
By no means, bro. Like this isn't it. I think you're gonna have a great season. Which brings me to ask you, what are you looking forward to the most in this upcoming season in 2022?
I'm excited because it's a fresh start. And not just for like me personally or saying coming back from injury. We got new coaching staff, you got new faces on the team, got new teammates. The energy in the building's just different right now. So that's what I'm excited the most, like getting back to winning. it's been a rough couple of years here. When I got drafted, even a little bit before I got drafted, and you know, you sit here right now, like you look at these banners, like you know what this team is really about. You know what this franchise, this organization is really about, and that was like my goal when I got drafted here, man. When I got drafted here, I was like, dang, we got Eli Manning, Odell, Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard. On defense, we had Jack Rabbit, we had Landon Collins, and like, not the year before they went 3-13 because they had injuries, but the year before that, they were like 10-6 or something like that, and they made the playoffs. So like, I was like, dang, like, I'm excited, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like usually like, you're number two, when you're number 2 pick, you know, you're going to a rough situation. So I didn't feel like that. I was like, dang, like, we're gonna have a real opportunity, like, coming here. And come from college, like, you know, you're so used to, I never won a national championship or anything, but, you know, we were able to, at Penn State, you know, the sanctions and all that stuff happened, and then, you know, Coach Franklin got there. We like had a decent year in my first year. In the last 2 years, won the Big Ten championship. At one point, we were ranked like number 2 team in the country. So we got back to winning. So for me, like, that's really all it is winning, getting back to win. That's what I look forward to. You know, I can sit here and be like, as an individual, like what I want to accomplish, and like, I feel like y'all already know, like, as athletes, you know what we want, you know what we want to accomplish, but like, I really don't want to put that out there. Like, my main thing is like, just take day by day, and like, all the stuff that I want is gonna happen. But for me, like, the thing I'm most excited is about, you know, building a winning culture here, and that's what I'm really focusing on.
It takes a while to get to Jerome Bettis, where you're not only running the football, but you're a leader. It takes a while to get to Fred Taylor. You're not only running the football, but you're a leader, in a sense of you guys having a young football team, right? And also in your 4 years, in adversity you faced, the things that you've overcome, like, our experiences make us who we are. We're some of those experiences. As a leader, though, and you're talking about getting to winning, what are you trying to communicate or impart to your team so you can get back to the tradition that you know the New York Giants want to be?
Well, first you got to listen to the coach and listen to the message that the coaches are saying. And that's the standard. And, you know, no matter what, you're going to be the guy that a lot of people look up to, meaning not just myself, but Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard, Leonard Williams, Dory Jackson, Xavier McKinnon, like, all those guys, like, you know, when you come out to practice, like, you're going to look and see how those guys are practicing. You're going to look when in the weight room, see how those guys are training. And that's the standard. And that's where it starts, like, to build a winning team. You know, you got to come to work every single day and live by that standard. And, you know, there's going to be the poor me's, there's going to be the ups, there's going to be the downs, but don't let that negative energy come and impact the team, especially in this place, especially in this market, in this media. You cannot let that happen. So for me, how I do it is the way I learned to be the best leader I possibly can be. Obviously, you have to be vocal. I'm really not that vocal of a guy, but like, I know when I have to be vocal. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to bring a team up. I'm not afraid to call a guy out. I'm not afraid to call myself out in front of the team and let them know that I haven't been doing that. But I feel like the best way I can do that is by going out there and play and be the player that I know that I am. And I couldn't do that last year. Obviously, the year before, I couldn't play because of hurt. And that's how you go do it, you know. It's easy to be like, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But like, if I'm in practice and, you know, I get a chance to break a long run and I'm taking it to the house and working on my reps, working on that conditioning, working on that mindset, that like finishing a run, like that don't go unnoticed. When I walk in the building and you see Daniel Jones working as hard as a skill guy, working hard as a D lineman, one of the last people to leave, that don't go unnoticed. I feel like that's the way you build that mindset for a team, and you just continue every single day is try to live by that standard and create that culture.
Bro, to be honest, I can't keep my eyes off of him. Is it uncomfortable that the whole world talks about your thighs? Cause I'm looking you in your eyes like you a man and we conversing, but I keep looking down and them motherfuckers is gigantic. But that's it's like a talking point. Like, like, are you comfortable with that? Cause the world talks about your legs and your thighs. That's usually a woman trait.
Yeah, right.
But you got some.
It's not a woman trait.
You got some beautiful legs, man. I give people their props. I got who is it? I got hit on Denzel Ward because he's pretty. Like, he's a beautiful man. And I told him, you a beautiful dude. And everybody hit me. They'll probably hit me on this, but bro, you got some nice legs.
I appreciate that.
But is it like it's like meant for you? Like knowing that everybody's like they talk about your thighs and your legs all the time.
That's why he wear hoochie daddy shorts though.
Oh yeah, he gonna have thighs. Well, skies out, thighs out. Yeah, you gonna show them off.
What they say?
I'm not uncomfortable.
Skies out, thighs out.
I'm not
That's not a
uncomfortable
saying.
with it. Like I think it's funny, cause like in college like it wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? It really wasn't like people like on my team knew like about my legs and like knew how strong I was in the weight room. But like once I got to NFL, Odell kind of made a joke calling me Saquads, and you know Odell with all the fans that he has, it kind of just blew up. And then people really start like people come up to me and like compliment my legs, like whether it's females, whether it's dudes, or like I'll see that like it was like sign my phone, I sign a phone and like my screensaver is like a picture of this I did like this naked body shoot, so like for like ESPN, and like people will have that. Like I seen a guy like try to mimic it. Like it do get a little creepy, but like you know I own it, bro. Like it is what it is. Like I'm blessed with some nice legs, I guess you could say.
Yeah, shit, yeah, bro. Live it there. You got the shit showing off.
And
So-
it is what it is.
He's talking about showing it off. You better be careful with this guy. I don't know if you saw the Kevin Hart
Kevin,
episode.
yeah, I'm a big fan of you. I already
the
know.
nudist colony. He wants you to show them thighs.
Nah,
Would
nah.
you ever go?
I saw the picture when you was sitting there.
Nah,
Don't act like I ain't seen it.
nah, yeah.
Would you ever go on vacation with Channing?
Oh man, I think I have to pass on that one. I think I have to pass on that one.
You'll take a naked picture for the world to see, but we can't go hang out naked together and drink some margaritas?
Nah, man. I mean, I feel like, you know, everyone has their things they're into, and you know, that's you. But me personally, I'm really not on that type of time. But
You was butt naked in that shoot. I was gonna ask it, but you brought it. You was butt naked in the shoot.
booty ass naked. Yep.
Cameras on and all.
Yep.
So
Jumping,
you
cutting.
comfortable being naked around people?
I mean, like, it is what it is.
It was art though, Channing.
That's exactly. That's how I look at it.
Listen,
Like,
we could paint some crayons or something together.
No.
Channing,
art.
there's art and then there's nasty.
Yeah.
Right? So like those two things.
Different levels.
Those two things are in conflict with most people. But I'm gonna pivot and get us back to
y'all make too many rules in life.
I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back to the regular scheduled conversation.
crazy.
You know, you mentioned Odell, and obviously somebody I'm really close to, LSU guy. This place is different, right? And like not the way Channing says it, but you are handsome, right? You are incredibly intelligent. You were right out of the gate a superstar, one of the best backs in the league. And you know, now you've gotten to the point, and you mentioned earlier saying everybody switched up. Like all these people who loved my running style or love these things, now they're saying negative things about me. How have you had to learn to adjust to the scrutiny here? Because it's different, right? It can make you a superstar. You could be at the Met Gala, right, after your rookie season, and then they could dog the piss out of you when they fall out of love with you. How have you learned to adjust to all that?
I really didn't have to adjust to it, really. Like, it was kind of just like, I was shocked by it, like, meaning, like, how everyone switched more of so, like, but, like, I never, like, really fell into, like, the love of New York or the love of the fans. Like, I appreciate the love of the fans, don't get me wrong. But, like, I don't really see myself as a superstar. Like, I don't try to, like, go by my, like, every day, like, oh, I'm this guy or I'm that guy. Like, I'm not naive, don't get me wrong, I'm not naive to it. But, like, it wasn't hard, like, to adjust to that side of it. Like, the thing was just, like, when it was just, like, disrespecting, like, my talent, like, or disrespecting my play of football, like, that's when I was just, like, whoa, like, I've been doing this for a very long time, like, since I was yay high, like, where is this all coming from? But, like, with the media and stuff like that, like, I never really fell into that. Like, I don't, like, I kind of just play the role, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, what comes with the territory. Like, I know, like, you know, I got blessed, like, I have my own shoe, like, I have a version of Bo Jackson's shoe, been at the Met, I've done the commercials, I've done all this stuff. Like, but to me, it was like, I feel like that's part of the role of playing it. Like, but my mindset is just like, my main thing is really football. So that's why, like, I struggle more with people coming at me as a football player than what anybody got to say outside of football. Like, I really don't care about that. But, like, when it was, like, about my talent or my running style, like, now it's just, like, that's, like, more disrespectful. Just, like, like you guys don't even know what you're talking about. When I say you guys, I'm not talking about y'all, obviously, but like the people out there, I'm like, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Even still, like it's, especially a running back position, it's like it's different, like to have, like we all play football here, but like I can't speak on his position, I can't speak on your position, but like I can have a genuine conversation because like I'm in his shoes, he's been in my shoes, like he seen things that I've seen. I'm trying to get to where he was. So like that's where it's like where I had to have an adjustment side, where outside, like when they talked about football, but outside, like I said, I'm not naive, but like I kind of just played a role, but like I wasn't walking around like I'm this superstar or this and that and the third. I just try to go every day, and when I do encounter a fan or multiple fans, or like when I have to sign stuff with people, like I am aware that, you know, a lot of kids look up to me and a lot of people respect the things that I do on and off the field. So like I really do try to take my time with those people because like you never know, like that little gesture can really change someone's life in that little moment of time. So like that's my mindset when it comes to that.
Well, to stay that humble, and you've been with the same woman since college, right?
Yes, sir.
To stay that humble, that support system, how important is that? Like your lady, you talk about your babies, your baby and now the one on the way, but that support system, having that same girl, because we just joked earlier, everybody knows, like I ran. You know, you can run, but you're not running. Like you're humbled and focused. Is it by the people around you? Is it by your lady? Is it by your family? Like, cause it's crazy to hear you say, I don't think I'm a superstar. Bro, the world, if you say Saquon in London, they're gonna yell at the end Barkley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for you to say that, what humbles you like that?
I would say my upbringing. I would definitely say my mom and my dad. I would say the people I surround myself with, whether it's my agent, whether it's my manager, whether it's my boys. They never let me get too level-headed. And on my lady, like granted, we had our ups and downs, but like it really took me to like my mom said, like when you know the right woman, it's like you got to go through some shit to know some shit. And like when I was down really bad, like especially mentally after, you know, football was taken away from me, like how she held me down, how she had my back, like that made me just become so much more appreciative, you know, of her. So my lady, my family, my friends, the people I surround myself with, my teammates, Sterling Shepard would be the first one if I ever got too high on myself to knock me right back down to a level, and I'll be the same way with him. It's really like that's really the best answer. Is like the people I surround myself with. I really like. I'm truly blessed. Like, and I know that sounds like a cliche answer, but like I have amazing daughter, amazing lady. I have both parents in my life. Some people don't have that. Yeah. I'm close with all my siblings. I have true best friends, like best friends that like I was best friends before I was Saquon Barkley. Not like, oh, I'm Saquon Barkley and in my circle now. Like I have true best friends. I have amazing agent. I have an amazing management team. Like, I don't know, God just really just aligned me up with the perfect people, and like I wouldn't be the person I am without those people in my life. You mentioned your agent. We're gonna do a show with Leonard Fournette as well up here soon that we're gonna release. And your agent is a woman, Kim. I've tried to get her name right. Mayali. It seems that loyalty is very important to you, and in mentioning having, you know, that type of support. So you talk about your lady, you talk about your parents, you talk about your agent. What has it been like? I mean, I think you're the highest player ever to be drafted that had a female agent. You know, what was the choice like to do that? Because that's kind of against the beaten path. Well, it's all about your relationship that you develop. And, you know, the first interview that I had, for me also coming out of college, it wasn't just like my own personal relationship. It was a relationship that I feel like they had with my family. You know, I let my parents have a real big play in my decision too. And to this day, like, you know, my mom's birthday, like we all go out for my mom's birthday. We do all things together. We have family functions, we have house parties, and she shows up and she's there. For me, her being a woman did play a big part. I feel like as an agent, it's a male-dominant business. So as a woman, you know, she's definitely gonna go a lot more harder. So that's why, like, this year I'm really excited for not only for myself, but for her. Like, people keep bringing up, like, oh, so you're going to your last year, it's a contract year. And, like, I give the same old answer. I know people think it's some BS answer, but, like, I can say that when I know I got someone like that on my side. Like, I'm gonna take care of what I gotta take care of on this football field, and I know she's gonna do the rest.
It's good you say that because that's all you can control is what you could control, right? You said you want to be in my shoes. You know, looking back, you are. You are. The similarities, everything, I remember those days, you know, and I know what got me out of it, you know, and I know that I had to set small goals. You know, it was all about progression, small wins at a time. And I'll say this, I do want to give you your flowers.
Yep.
I always do. You're always in my top 5.
Yep.
All the time. But I do want to ask you, and then we're going to wrap it and let you get back to your thing. What are your immediate goals? Your immediate personal goals?
I would say one, first thing on my mind would be with a new baby on the way, you know, having 2 kids running around the house is going to be another challenge. So try to be the best father that I can be. Also on the football field, I've been doing a lot of, you know, watching a lot of videos, doing a lot of research on Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you know, all those greats, and especially in football. It's easy, like, to get myself going, you know what I mean? Like, I know on Sundays, like, I know what to do to get myself going, to get my mind right, to go out there and try to perform on a high level to help my team win. But something that I've been trying to challenge myself to this year is, like, finding out what makes my teammates tick. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, so like last week I went around, asked all my linemen, like, what's your why? What makes you want to be great? Like, what makes you keep going in this game? Because, like, if I feel like if I can get the balance and understanding of my teammates and understand what gets them going, then, like, when I'm in that huddle or when it's 4th and 1, and, you know, it's easy to be like, it's 4th and 1, you're a running back, go down there and just get the first down. Like, that's your mindset. But, like, not only can I challenge myself, but I can challenge those men to get on the field and for all of us to accomplish that goal. And then it's getting back to who I am and being Saquon Barkley on the football field. And I know, like, when I'm healthy, I know when I got the right mindset, like, I know what I can be. Like, no disrespect to any of the greats, any of the great running backs at all. Like, my ultimate goal is I want to be the best running back to ever play. That's my mindset, and that's the top of the mountain. And I want to work every single day till I get to that top of the mountain. And I may fall short, you know, especially losing 2 years in my career, pushing me back a little bit. But I may not get all the way to the top of that mountain. But however far I do get, I know I'm gonna put all the work in and work my ass off to get there. That, like, when I'm done playing football, I'm gonna be able to look my kids in the face, look myself in the mirror, and know that I did everything I can.
Hey, the funny thing, when you talk about goals, you brought up your kids first. And that hit me, because I got 3 kids. I have a daughter as well, a 9-year-old daughter. And I just give you a little OG, you know, advice. Because I done told about 4 or 5 8-year-olds, I tell them, I'm not afraid to die, but I'm taking somebody with me.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess with my daughter, we both gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that to kids too.
8 years
you can
old?
tell them to kids,
Yeah,
So
right,
when your
right.
daughter come home with that first boyfriend, tell them, hey, I ain't afraid to die, but I'm taking somebody with me.
I don't even think that's crazy.
Yeah,
Boyfriends,
man, no.
That's crazy.
My daughter's, he's cute. Cute how? Why? Why is he cute?
Right.
No, daddy. And I try to take on as many vacations because I don't want no man to say, let's go to Turks and Caicos. My daddy took me to Turks and Caicos 6 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, you got to let him have experiences.
Right.
But yeah, I'll tell an 8-year-old boy so quick, listen, we'll both go out if you hurt my daughter. So yeah, you love your daughter, I love my daughter. I'm just giving you some advice. Yeah, you take them out.
Yes,
In the end, bro, like, the thing we're grateful for is that you sat down with us, and I think I'm also excited that the world gets to know a little bit more about you than what the media is going to put out. Great human, first of all, amazing son, great father, but also one of the most talented to have ever done what you do for a living. And man, we're rooting for you. It's raining now, and I'm sure people can hear it, but I think that's what we do, right? Like, we trudge through rain, we trudge through mud, we trudge through adversity, and in the end, that's the story that's told. And so the thing I want to impart on you is, it's not over, dog.
Yeah.
Like, and you know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember texting you about coming on the show, and I was like, we need to remind people who you are. Period, point blank, man. You were a guy that did things we'd never seen. You're someone that was drafted number 2 to play a position that people weren't even, and have not in some years, drafted in the first round. That's how talented you are. That's how good you are. And now people know how good of a person you are, how intelligent you are, man. So we wish you the best, dog. Like, you always gonna be Pivot fam. We always gonna show love. And man, and when you shine this year, dog, we gonna stunt like hell on this show.
Right.
Cause we knew it, man. So we appreciate you, dog.
I appreciate y'all.
My man. Yes, sir.
Wow.
You crazy. You crazy.
So, Trevor's amazing, man.
Because Trevor worked with Russ on that show.
Yeah, yeah,
And I did a show
yeah.
with him.
And he has a book that's great.
Send me his book.
Yeah, the book is amazing. But what they did for me, man, because I was in a fucking slump, bro. I mean, bad. He said, I want to try something. He would take Michael Johnson, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Ali, Kobe, and he'll put their quotes, have them talking and all of that on these clips and just sit there. And then he'll blend my stuff in, my runs, my talks, my quotes. He's like, you can be one of them. Like, you're still that guy. But before you can attempt to remind everybody else, you got to remind yourself here. So I would, on game day, my teammate was like, man, what are you doing looking at your own highlights? Look,
I've never done that.
I'm
before.
visualizing
Yeah.
the shit that I've done
I'm a big visualizer, but like,
You know what I'm
watching
saying?
highlights for a game, that's
right
how I
before the game.
Yeah.
Imagine them juices that get going. You see yourself spin move stiff, running guys over, going the distance. What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
It's a constant reminder, and that's where we need to be. And that confidence will skyrocket, shoot right back where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But before you can remind anybody who you are, you gotta remind yourself.
Yeah.
So if you do that and you go visualize with it, it's gonna make it so much easier.
Yes, sir.
Because it's still in there. You're gonna kill that shit. And I'm definitely rooting for you.
I appreciate that.
1000%.
I'm always gonna say
For sure.
thank you too.
For
Appreciate
sure.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant.